It is the documentary that still has the world talking. Leaving Neverland set out to prove the late Michael Jackson had inappropriate relationships with Wade Robson and James Safechuck. The pair sharing harrowing details about their alleged sexual assaults.
On that. There's no thoughts of this is wrong or anything like that.
He told me if they ever found out what we were doing, he and I would go to jail for the rest of our lives.
OK, but now a new documentary is shining a different spotlight on the controversy. Neverland Firsthand features Brandy and Taj Jackson, the children of Michael's brothers, Jackie and Tito, as they defend their uncle.
You dated Wade Robson, one of the accusers, in Leaving Neverland for over 7 years, is that right?
That's correct, yes. Okay. He's saying that my uncle kept him from women, which is not true. We were just talking about how my uncle put us together.
You know, if this is about Wade and James Safechuck, you know, and it's about their journey and their discovery and whatever they want to say, it's like the reason they don't have a best friend that they interviewed is because a best friend probably didn't want to be on camera.
With many minds already made up, can this documentary sway public opinion and save the former King of Pop's legacy?
Liam McEwan is the filmmaker behind the documentary. He's going to join us now live out of LA. Welcome to the show. Neverland Firsthand directly challenges the stories told by the two men in Leaving Neverland. That's the doco we've been hearing so much about of late. Why did you decide to make the film?
Thanks for having me, guys. You know, I first heard of the accusers in Leaving Neverland back in 2013, 2014, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, when they first came public with their allegations and filed their lawsuits against the Jackson estate and the Jackson companies. You know, next thing I heard, the case had been thrown out of court twice. You know, one of the times the judge said that no reasonable fact finder would be able to find their stories credible or Wade Robson's stories credible. So I thought it was all in the past. And then as soon as I heard that Leaving Neverland was coming out and featured these guys, I knew I needed to investigate a little further and find out exactly what's going on here. OK, so you managed to convince Brandy and Taj to take part. We just saw clips of them. How did you do that? They were super great, lovely people. I actually have, I guess, a past with the Jackson family. I've interviewed Joseph Jackson, Michael's father. I've interviewed Prince Michael Jackson, his son. So I guess there was already a level of trust there. And I knew going into this that I needed to be respectful of all parties. Obviously, it's an incredibly sensitive subject. And I knew that I wanted to be respectful to the Jackson family, but also respectful to the accusers. I didn't want to, you know, directly be like, this is false. I wanted to investigate and I wanted to find out and I wanted to, I guess, hear the other side of the story because there's so many details that were, it seems, purposely left out of Leaving Neverland. OK. Let's just pick up on something you said there with your history. It goes back a while with the Jackson family, and that has given sort of some fuel to some rumours around. And let's hit one of them now. Did the Jackson family pay you to make Neverland Firsthand? Were they behind the film? No, this was a complete brainchild of mine. I saw Leaving Neverland coming out, and I was like, okay, what can I do here? I want to find out more. And then immediately I was like, I want to talk to people who were around the accusers. I want to talk to people who were around Michael. You know, in my film, obviously, Brandy dated Wade Robson, one of the accusers, for 7 to 10 years. Wade also says he was abused in a recording studio, so I wanted to interview someone that was at a recording studio every day. I wanted to interview people that were, you know, part of Michael's 2005 trial. I wanted to interview people, you know, close to the situation.
OK, we just mentioned that Brandy did date Wade Robson. This is what she had to say about Wade. Let's have a look.
He has always been a bit of an opportunist, and he gets it. I'm going to say, I feel comfortable saying this, he gets this from his mother, and he knows how to position himself into different situations that will benefit him in a financial way.
So how have people responded to Brandy's claims?
I think people have been responding well. Obviously, her story is incredibly interesting, and the fact that, you know, she dated him, you know, no one's denying that she dated him. And I think people are questioning the fact, you know, why was this left out of Leaving Neverland? This seems to be such an important piece of the story. You know, Michael actually set them up. And Brandy says that, you know, the reason it's not in the film is because it would completely contradict everything that Wade is trying to say.
Taj mentions Michael's children. Did he tell you how they're coping with all of this, or the spotlight well and truly back on the family now?
I think obviously, you know, it's an incredibly hard time for the family. You know, they've all got thick skin. You know, they've been through things like this before. I obviously can't speak personally for the kids, but I know that they are strong people. I know Paris's mindset about it is just to be relaxed and to be chilled out. Don't be too stressed out about it. You know, it will pass, things pass.
OK, Janet Jackson has remained pretty quiet on the film. Did you reach out to Janet?
No, I didn't reach out to Janet. You know, obviously, I wanted to talk to people who were close to the situation. Janet has danced with Wade once before. Wade actually participated in her 2009 tribute at the VMAs to her brother, Michael. Janet has stayed silent on the situation, but then, of course, there's rumours. The reason why she stayed quiet is because she was just put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is presented by, of course, HBO, who was the same company that put on Leaving Neverland. She actually refused to perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, apparently because of the fact that Leaving Neverland was aired on HBO.
Liam, are you saying that Leaving Neverland and everything in it is wrong?
Look, I don't want to say that, but what I will say is that there are notable I guess, inconsistencies within these guys' stories. For example, you know, in the film, and this is mentioned in my film as well, James, one of the accusers, talks about a situation where Michael called him up and begged him to testify in the 2005 trial. He says that he refuses and Michael got angry at him. So I asked the private investigator in the 2005 trial that in my documentary, because he actually chose the witnesses, and he said, you know, the judge actually said no evidence for James Safechuck will be accepted in this investigation. So he was never actually asked to testify. Another example, you know, in the film, he says that he was abused in the Neverland train station, which was actually built just a couple of years after James says the abuse finished. So it's little inconsistencies like that I guess made me want to investigate further here.
OK, well, the fascination, of course, continues with Michael Jackson. Thanks for your time, Liam.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Liam. Good to chat. All right.